So, welcome back on the Lightwave digital YouTube channel. And this massive scene here, I show all Lightwave users this month that you can imagine what you can do with different features from Lightwave if you want. So as disclaimer first, this scene I think you would only load if you have enough RAM in your computer and you have a graphic card with enough VRAM if you want to render it with Octane. So first you need for that scene minimum 32 GB of RAM in your computer, and the simple reason is that this scene hold in the RAM from the computer is 22 GB of normal RAM, and if you want to render it you need minimum a graphic card with 6 GB of VRAM. More is better. Yeah. So what you see here, I put out the render here, and you see here a scene with a massive displacement map created in Lightwave himself. So that's not a version from Iceland they use Octane displacement, that's a Lightwave displacement. And the simple reason is that I use here the Lightwave displacement function is that I want to instance then on them here that massive trees on all the little islands. Yeah. So if you zoom later out of the scene, if you want, for example, make another camera angel or something like that, you would see then that if you click in that need a while, and the simple reason is there's also a feature included, and that's a hot ocean toolkit with a very high resolution. So be cool if you work with that scene. Yeah. So that's the reason I click in the moment, not in the scene, but I tell you this part here is a mix from the Houdini Ocean Toolkit, and on that surface from that Houdini Ocean Toolkit I also implemented with Octane surface functions some more little details, so that we have with a total view some details on that water surface. Yeah. So you can also see that you can take a look in the water surface. Yeah. So it's also interesting to study all that Octane surfaces I embedded there. I work there with all that nice features from Octane, including also the gradient 2 node to coloring the Iceland from top to down with different colors and so on and so on. You can see it, for example, if you take a look here in the water, that I can with that principle also build underwater different colors, so that the different colors can play with the general color from the water surface. Yeah, and you can also see that I instance the complete Iceland if you go out with your camera of the scene. Yeah, so the Iceland himself is instanced, and on that Iceland I instance that 900,000 trees. Yeah, so that's the total numbers of trees you see in that scene. And yeah, I think it's good that you take a look in that scene also as beginner, if you begin with Octane. And the reason is you would found there are many crazy ideas in the surface setups from all that surfaces there that I give in that scene, so that you can see what you can do with a combination of a gradient 2 with color ramps that based on gradients or on bitmaps, and also what you can do to shade a water surface like that, and also in what way I set the light, and the environment settings and so on, and what I do with the hot ocean that it looks in that way. So if I want to render it out as animation, I can do that. Yeah, but the refresh time is a little bit longer per frame. So if you want to see it as animation, you can do it, yeah, then render it as animation out. And then you can see also that the water himself is animated and driven by the Houdini Ocean Toolkit. So you need, if you want to load it, also the Houdini Ocean Toolkit plugin, the 64-bit version, the latest, yeah, and then it will works, yeah. And also it is for beginner from interest to see in what way, for that example, for that Iceland, I use a .tif file, a TIFF file, to create and bring up that Icelands. Yeah. So in the end, if you make the displacement from that object displacement base, so that's the name in that scene for that. Yeah. If you bring that offline, you can see it here in the scene editor. That is this one here, the displacement base. If you bring there the displacement map offline, you will see that it's a huge, yeah, flat thing with many polygons, so that I can bring out all the details here, yeah. And that means that the scene need much RAM, yeah. But that's not from interest. From interest is what you can do with that and that it works. And that's the reason that I show you that scene and you can study that scene. Yeah. So that's only an example. What kind of map you paint, for example, in Photoshop or in another tool, to build the basic TIFF file. With that you grow up your Iceland, yeah, with the displacement map. That's your decision. So that's a thing that's a map I built so that it is 1 kilometer and 1 kilometer. Yeah, it's a square, and it's painted in Photoshop in the way that then, if you instance it later with a square, yeah, with 1 kilometer and 1 kilometer, near like that, you can take then a look in the instancer what the real parameter is. That is seamless, yeah. So that you have in the background, if you go with the camera on that Icelands, that in the background you have every time enough footage that you can see with your camera, yeah. So that's what I can say about that scene as behind the scenes, yeah. And now I hope you have fun with that scene, yeah. So see you later, have a nice time.